On October 30th, 2015, London Coin Galleries, in collaboration with us, the auction house Kunke, will auction off Löser from the Preissog collection at the Millennium Hotel Mayfair. It is the most comprehensive and most important assemblage of Löser ever to be on the market. We would like to use this opportunity to tell you a bit more about these magnificent coins. Julius of Brunswick-Wolfenbüttel was the first in whose mint, in 1574, Löser coins were struck. Löser was the term Julius used for large silver coins in the weight of several thaler, from which he hoped to gain substantial profits. Owning mines located in the Harz Mountains, Julius was in possession of large quantities of silver, which he wanted to be transformed into Löser. He hoped for a high profit. These high-value coins were intended to serve as bullion for long-distance trading and for savings. And Julius knew that grand merchants and burghers were willing to pay a considerable additional fee when exchanging such coins of stable value against groschen, accepted only on the local markets. The name of this new denomination can be read on both letter bands on the reverse. We translate this German inscription for you. New coin, minted in Heinrichstadt, today's Wolfenbüttel, according to the imperial regulations for weight and fine content, called Brunswick Julius Löser, in the weight of 10 thalers. Originally, the term Julius Löser derived from the Hamburg Portugal-Löser, an established trade currency used in the entire German Empire. On these coins, a tradesman could read a similar inscription on the letter bands, according to the fine alloy and weight of the coin of Portugal. After succeeding his father, it took Henry Julius almost 20 years to resume the minting of these splendid thaler-like coins. Obviously, he didn't want to earn money with them. This time, they probably served a diplomatic purpose. In 1608, the year his first Löser were issued, Henry Julius went to Prague to serve Emperor Rudolf II as imperial advisor. He was well aware that serving at the court implied the need of diplomatic gifts. What better present than a spectacular silver thaler-like presentation piece, especially at a time when collecting coins was a very popular leisurely pursuit in certain circles. On this 1609 Löser of 10 Reichsthaler, Henry Julius depicted himself in the most representational posture a Baroque ruler could think of. High up on a horse, wearing a ruffled collar according to Spanish court attire, and holding the baton in his right hand. Behind him, in the background, you will see a view of the city of Wolfenbüttel. Some years later, representation alone did not satisfy the Baroque ruler anymore. It was more important to reign a prosperous realm with a thriving economy. Money equaled power, and profitable mines were the manifestation of wealth. Unsurprisingly, therefore, the depictions of mines appeared on the coin's imagery with increasing frequency. This 1625 Löser of 4 Reichsthaler was made of silver mined from the Grosser St. Jakob mine at Lautenthal, which had virtually been bankrupt when it was put under the control of the State Mining Administration in 1623. Testifying to the quality of the ducal administration, it only took 2 years to make this mine lucrative again. That's the reason why these Löser were minted from the yield featuring a reference to the mine's name. The reverse of the coin depicts Jacobus, or St. James the Greater, wearing the same pilgrim's attire as all the believers who pilgrimaged on St. James's path to Santiago de Compostela. London Coin Galleries is delighted to offer a unique gold pattern of this emission in the weight of 17 ducats. This 1634 Löser of 10 Reichsthaler was also made of silver, mined at the St. James mine. The specimen depicts St. James wearing a pelerine on which the characteristic pilgrim scallops are fixed. Additional shells can be seen at his feet. This imagery derives from observations miners made. While working the mines, they found rock layers filled with imprints of shells and other marine animals. This led the miners to believe that shells, just as metal, were growing inside the mountain. The legend of the Löser is a prayer to St. James, begging the saint to make the metal in the rock grow as lavishly as the shells. On April 10, 1666, Augustus the Younger of Brunswick-Wolfenbüttel celebrated his 88th birthday. That was a biblical age by the standards of the time, and accordingly, an elaborate celebration was held. Conforming to Baroque customs, the Duke reciprocated every gift with a gift of his own, and the gifts he gave in return corresponded to the original present in terms of social level and size. For this reason, a large emission of Löser was released, of which we see an example here in the weight of 5 Reichsdaler. The obverse depicts Augustus wreathed and crowned by his favorite virtues, the goddess of peace carrying the palm branch, and the goddess of justice carrying a sword and scales. This Löser of 5 Reichsdaler was made in 1679 to mark the capture of independent Brunswick by Rudolf Augustus. In the upper part of the reverse, the state ship is shown, peacefully sailing across the ocean, under the name of God serving as the guiding sun. For its course, the state ship claims Remigio Altissimi, according to the will of the highest. Below, the recently captured city of Brunswick is shown, followed by a view of the city of Wolfenbüttel, which was to lose its status as residency to Brunswick later. In 1647, this Löser of 5 Reichsdaler was minted in Clausthal. The specimen depicts a mining scene, yet with slight modifications. Take a look at the miners at the entrance to the shaft. Instead of working, they are embracing each other. This intimate gesture is likely to point out the desire for peace everybody living in the German Empire felt at the time. After all, since June 1645, the belligerent parties were negotiating for peace in Westphalia, trying to end the 30 Years' War. When the war was finally over, the time for reconstruction began, and so it did for mining. This 1685 Löser of 4 Reichsdaler bears testimony to the successful resumption of silver mining at the Grosser St. Jakob mine. Again, the ducal mining administration stepped in. By merging some unprofitable mines, it created a large corporation called Lautenthal's Glück, meaning Fortune of Lautenthal. And already in 1685, this new mining corporation paid the first dividends to its shareholders. As commemorated by this Löser, the coin depicts a young woman with flowing hair in front of the landscape of Lautenthal. The lute, German Laute, she plays points to the name of the mine, as does the small sail symbolizing Fortuna, goddess of fortune. The snail, like the shells we saw on an earlier Löser, refers to the wish for metal to grow just as fast as the fossils found in the rock. This type of Löser was issued both by Ernest Augustus of Brunswick-Kahlenberg-Hanover and by Rudolf Augustus of Brunswick-Wolfenbüttel, who shared a joint ownership of the Harz mines and the mint located at Zellerfeld. Löser were highly sought-after collecting items as early as the 17th century. This Löser is bearing testimony to this fact. Please take a good look and you will see that the letter H was punched twice on the reverse. The monogram stands for Heinrich Horst, mint master of the Zellerfeld mint between 1711 and 1719. Due to the great demand from collectors' side, he produced restrikes of these Lösers using the original dies. He was not the only one to engage in this lucrative business. Many Löser were restruck from the original dies for collectors for decades to come. And it is easy to see why. Every collector would love to call one of these impressive Löser his or her own. We, the Auction House Kunke, would be delighted to welcome you at the auction of our business partner, London Coin Galleries. If we sparked your interest with this film, why not attend the sale in person? Please join us on October 30th, 2015 at the Millennium Hotel Mayfair at 2 p.m. Should you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact us.